Hello and welcome to the semifinals of the 2014 Elements World Championship. I am theelkspeaks and my opponent today is Zawadx. Zawadx advanced from the first group stage from a group that also contained such players as Root Ranger and Dragon's Domain and Surprex. It was a very strong group, and Zawadx performed very well in that group. Then, in the second group stage round, Zawadx defeated both Trash Duke and Megron to advance in first place from that group. In the quarterfinals, Zawadx defeated Cheesy 111, which brings us to this point, where Zawadx, who took the second seed out of the group stages, plays me, who took the third seed out of the group stages, in the semifinals. The other semifinal is Deuce 22 versus World Wide Web 3. That semifinal should be played about 3 days after this one, to the best of my knowledge. The format is the same as the quarterfinals format. That is to say, there are 6 elements. Each can be used up to twice. No identical combination may be used at any of the 7 games. 4 upgrades increasing. Shards have a price of 3 upgrades. One notable format different to the group stage formats is that you may use as many mono decks as you would like, as opposed to only 2 monos. And that's that. So you can see on the screen here that I'll be playing this aggressive mono fire in the first game, and I'll talk a little more about my deck decisions and my opponent after we get underway. Just sending the message that we start. Zawadx is a noted Ether player, hence his Ether color scheme in the scoreboard over there. He competed in the most recent Ether trials. He was defeated by Daniela, who then lost to current Ether Master and Grandmaster Deuce 22. Zawadx is a player who's had some extremely strong results overall, but some slightly less consistent results in some cases, so it'll be interesting to see how well he does in a match like this. With so much on the line, he's done reasonably well in high-stakes matches, and is a player who definitely plays up to the level of his competition, but our overall results have been comparable, and so it's not the most terrifying thing for me. Alright, so I feel like we're going to see an NT rush in this first game here. An interesting choice. In theory, my rush is probably faster. In practice, oh no, we're seeing SOP Wardens. That's really interesting. Again, my rush is still probably faster. SOP Wardens is... No, he can't play SOP Wardens. He doesn't have the upgrades for it. He must be playing a Trident deck? I'm not sure what's going on here. This looks like a Trident deck of some sort. Yep, that's a Trident. That's going to be irritating. Well, I probably need to blow up the Trident on the next turn, but he didn't have the Earth Quanta to play it this turn, so I can start my clock rolling. He'll have no PC other than the Trident in this deck, just by virtue of the fact that he's playing Water Earth. Also, that's a straight water deck. That's a straight water deck, probably with BB Nymphs, in fact. Which is pretty okay matchup for me. Yeah, it's probably a NT duo. Yeah, Earthbands. That makes so much sense. Okay. I'm not 100% sure what his deck choice is here, but that seems like the most likely thing, is that it's an NT duo with some Earth Nymphs for creature control. That means, yeah, that I need to plan, basically, on my nymphs being one-shot. or my creatures being only getting one attack off. We'll see which creature he prioritizes here. If he prioritizes Earth, I will pull his queen. If he prioritizes making another queen, I probably won't. In any case, it will take him several turns to contest my creatures, but I might be better saving for burst also. That will increase my Fahrenheit damage along the way. There's a Nymph Queen, second Nymph Queen. I need to just slow this down a little bit. Yeah, he rushes a little faster than I do here. So we'll just do that. He rushes a little faster. He gets 10 on the next turn. Yeah, I'm going to need to play like 2 drags in burst on the last turn of the game, probably, if I want to win this. I really need to top deck more of my firebolts. Bolting away the queens is my best chance to save this right here. This isn't the worst matchup in the world, but I need to get some of my damage on the board. He probably has dry spells, so I'm hesitant to play my Phoenix early. If this is desynced, it's almost certainly going to be a double win desync, which is irritating. AI is notoriously bad at playing any sort of Nymph Rush. Yeah, there we go. Alright. That's unfortunate, but... pretty much expected. I get 9 extra damage. I get 24 plus 9 damage. Let's see what happens. He hits me only for... oh no, he hits me for too much. So... we have to play... let's see, that would be 24, and 7 is 31. That's still short. So... yeah, he won this one. The Abyss Crawler cements it for sure. Alright. Well. Probably should have bolted the Water Nymph, to be fair. I probably should have bolted that Water Nymph, but... wait, we both lost to AI? He may also have lost to AI. Well, I guess we replay that then. Neither side was able to beat the AI there. That was interesting. Yeah, that was probably an incorrect decision not to just bolt that. Interesting. Better Quanta start and a D-flag. This match is probably in my favor. How many D-flags I have? I have just 2 D-flags. But I have one in my opening hand, which is good. That means I can contest the early Trident. I don't quite have the Quanta I want, but I Still contest an early trident. And, almost as importantly, I can contest his earliest nymph now, too. Most likely. I'll get 4 quanta next turn. I need 1 more quanta to contest first nymph. He has no earth quanta right now, which is huge. Now I can absolutely contest his first nymph. He is using his upgrades in this match for crawlers, which means there's a lot less things I have to worry about that way. But the most important thing in this matchup is that I stay over 10 quanta at all times so I can contest his water nymphs. Crawlers are annoying, but I really shouldn't contest them too heavily. Though I might need to contest one before it gets out of hand. Should I contest the crawler? I do have 3 bolts. I have to contest the first crawler just to be safe. Didn't really want to contest crawler, but I think I had to. His quanta starts kind of low. I'll be okay once I get rolling, but I need to get my quanta rolling fast. Second crawler. Second contest. Next turn I get 5, which means that if I draw 1 more quanta source on my next turn, I can play a Phoenix. No, I can play a Phoenix as is. I'm sorry, I can play a Dragon next turn. Also, I'm not seeing dry spells in this deck so far. The fact that I'm down 2 bolts is kind of sad, but the fact that he has no board makes it okay. Upgraded nymphs would also make me really sad here. Yeah, because I go down to 7 and gain at least 4. I need to gain 6. So I need 1 quanta source to play a dragon next turn. Appears there's another desync. And there comes his queen. Now this queen is currently useless to him because it's AI. So I'll bolt him now. Oh shoot! That was a misplay. That was a severe misplay. In any case, he doesn't have the quanta to activate that ability. So I'm going to be okay. That was really dumb. That was me. Alright, he can't contest here. Yeah, he can't contest. Phew, I screwed that up too. Alright. The desyncs can be kind of frustrating sometimes, but chat and send that to Zawadx and find out how his match against AI went. And the chat appears to be lagging out also, which is unfortunate. That the chat will come back into function soon. Okay, so my mono fire did successfully beat did successfully beat his nymph deck, which is good. So game 2. So in game 2, I'm going to play a Bone Bolt, which is an Ether Death duo that's somewhat popular. I have generally been fairly critical of this deck, but it actually does okay. Oh, there's only 7 upgrades in this version. I should upgrade an additional Bone Wall, because I have 8 upgrades to use. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, no, wait. That was not what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to add a deadly poison. That's right, I'm supposed to upgrade one more deadly poison for this deck. Death. Where? Deadly poison. Managed deck. It's a 32 card deck, which is a somewhat unusual deck size. Deadly poison. There we go. Okay. So I have a 1-0 lead, and I've used fire. He's used a water, I believe, and nothing else. And this will be interesting. This appears bad for me, possibly. This could be a Scientol from him. Not the best matchup for a Bone Bolt. Yeah, that's Mono Ether Scientol, probably. Almost certainly. I don't think he has enough upgrades to play a Mixed Tall here, which is generally stronger than a pure Scientol, but we'll find out. The good news is that this is likely a dim Scientol, in which case my play will make that a bit of a nuisance for him. He could be playing mixes, though. I don't know. If he plays any creatures, I can contest them with lightnings early, which is nice. This also potentially looks like a Recluse Tall with a bad draw to him. or something like that. I mean, I'm not sure why I would play a Death Recluse tall, but given that I've been widely critical of Bone Vault... Oh no, we're having another desync. And there are Recluses in this deck, which is nice. Yeah, now this deck is going to be very sad. Yeah, we're still playing AI out, but that's... And this is going to be... should be a win for me here, I think, unless this goes unexpectedly wrong. I'm out of bones there, but I can drop another bone wall. Yeah, this is a straight-up Recluse tall. It's not even a mix. It's Recluse. Interesting. Oh, in any case. Beat the AI here. It's frustrating that there's so many desyncs in such an important match. Unfortunately, the servers can be really annoying sometimes, and that's how it is, but the standard rule is that both player plays AI, and if the same player wins on both sides from where the match disconnected, and you send screenshots to prove that you're able to win, that player's declared the winner. So that was a Death Ether for me. Death and Ether. And for you, that was Mono Ether, I believe. It also takes away his Mono Ether from the rest of the match, which is useful. Let's see. So then, I've played some kind of stall-y. I've played a rush deck and a kind of stall deck. So now the plan is to hit him with a really slow deck. Zawadx is traditionally a somewhat aggressive player. I imagine that running into stall after stall after stall can be a little bit frustrating, especially for a player who's used to playing fairly quick decks. And so I feel like this is the right spot in the match to play this. This fire stall has a decent chance of winning, I expect, among what he's got left. I am using up my fire for the rest of the match, but I feel like it's a strong option here, and I also feel like it sets up the rest of the match pretty favorably for me, because I feel like it's going to be incentivizing him into playing some slower decks, which should set up for some of the things I want to run in games 4 or 5. And even into the later parts of this match. So with that, I am ready to play game 3 in this match. I'm just going to put my deck up on this for a second in case I need to look at it. Where did my deck go? There it is. There. And my opponent is playing something with fire in it. If he's playing his Phoenix Bolt here, I'm in decent shape, though this low quanta start could end up making that not work out. It's really low quanta start. this may actually have been a failed connection. Yeah, that's a failed connection. Apparently Zawadx was in, it looks like from the message he's sending, but that there was simply a very early DC. But that's not completely clear. Emo duo is an interesting choice. I don't have enough to play it though. We're just gonna do that. Yeah, with the appearance of he experienced the auto loss bug in his. So we're going to research it. Alright, there's going to be a brief interruption in the match. Zawadx wants to try to improve his connection. It appears that the connection between us and the server is not that great. The Emo duo from Zawadx. We're going to try reconnecting to this game of the match. Hopefully this will work correctly. Again, a 1 quanta start for me, and it's a pillar too. At least I have 2 Sanctuaries in opening hand and several CCs. But double Immo into Destroyer. That's kind of dangerous. I have 2 at the end of next turn. It'll be at 3 health. Yeah, this could go really badly. Unless I get some Quanta in really fast. How badly Quanta is this deck? Actually, it might be just a low Quanta deck on my part. I may have underestimated how much Quanta I needed in this deck, but... yeah, that's brutal. That's just brutal. I need my Fire Shield and I need it in play and fast. Don't even have the chance to play anything. Wow. Alright. The other thing that this Immo duo means is that he can't play a traditional Firestall in this match. Which is perfectly okay by me. One card to end the game, and that wasn't the card to end it on that turn. But doesn't mean he won't still end it on this turn. Yeah, this appears to have been an under-Quanta deck from me. And an explosive start like Immo is capable, or Immo Duo in this case, is capable of. Fire and light used. Okay. So game 4, we're gonna play the Light Air Blessed Pegasus deck. Let me double check this and make sure it doesn't look terrible. 32 cards is the correct size for this deck, so we're not missing anything. We've got some Fog Shields, some Sky Blitzes. Generally a deck I'm pretty happy with. Might be a little Quanta light. No, it's actually pretty okay on Quanta. Alright. So, I'm missing fire at this point only. He's not missing any elements yet, but I'll be missing light after this game too. He'll probably play... He hasn't played any death yet. If I get poisoned this game, that'll be frustrating. This deck is faster than most poison decks unless he plays an actual Bone Bolt like I did. Game 5, we're looking at playing my own NT Rush. I like playing a high upgrade NT Rush. I think it's got a lot of power with a decent amount of upgrades in the NT Rush. So we've seen a decent number of people throughout this event and other events playing it in low upgrade volumes. It's an interesting tech choice. It talks about things like how highly you value upgraded nymphs, the 7 HP point versus the 6 HP point. How highly you value your Abyss Crawlers and your Permafrost Shields, really what it comes down to. I've found that I tend to value my Permafrost Shields a little higher than the rest of the field in most events. Which is part of why I love playing my NT Rushes at high upgrades, and a lot of people play them at low upgrades. It works very well against other creature-heavy decks, especially fractal decks. And I'm expecting there to be quite a lot of fractaling going on here. I'm also expecting that I will see Roll Hope at some point. Blessed Pegasus is one of my best options for dealing with Roll Hope. NT Rush with possible desiccations deals with Roll Hope. Mono Ether deals with Roll Hope, and Mono Death deals with Roll Hope. So all of the remaining things you're going to see from me in this match beat Roll Hope, which means that if he plays it at any point in the next 4 games, I should win that game. Yeah. It's a pretty tight match so far. He has 2 Death and 1 Ether left. I just have 1 of each left. He also has 1 Fire left, which I don't. So he might actually have a slight advantage in terms of the elements remaining. But I think I have some reasonably strong decks to throw in. Alright. We're going to try this again. Might have to switch over to Kong if this doesn't work, to the congregate hosting of the game. It says negotiating now, which is usually a good sign. And we are in. It's an at least passable. That's actually a pretty okay draw. You can get T2 Peggy out, T3 Blessing. Some sort of straight up Damsel Rush. I'm gonna get so much coin. I can get a straight up Blessinged Peggy on T2. And then I can, like, dive and another Peggy on T3? Is that right? No, not quite. Dive, but not get another Pegasus yet. I can dive and get fog, though. This is a mono air of some sort with owl's eyes and damsels. Get some fog going in here. I can get at least a couple turns. Oh boy. That's huge. That is huge. I needed that. I needed that a lot. The more blessings I top deck, the more damage I do. Which seems reasonably obvious, but... yeah, this is a damsel worm aggressive deck. He can drop me to 1 next turn, but I can deal 28 damage to him on that next turn. Minus 28, it still leaves 21 damage to be done, but then I've got some good stuff coming behind it too. Yeah, it leaves 21, plus I have 8 and 7, 15, and then 7. I have 15 on this turn, this next turn. 7 on the turn after that, so I'm 2 turns off lethal at the moment. And he can't even answer the morning star, so unless he has a way to... unless he has like a T-storm. If he has a T-storm, I'll be really sad right here. Even that's 3 turns to win. Oh no, not another of these. Okay, so the wings temporarily makes it so I can't end the game, but yeah, that will end it in any case. Yep. So with that win, I move to 3-1, and I'm 1 game away from the finals. That was an air and light for me, and a mono air for Zawadx. So we have to consider now, how likely is he to play Roll Hope? Kind of likely. His back's kind of to the wall here. Something interesting is going to come out. So, original deck I was going to play was this one. Right here in the 20 slot. A 30 card NT rush option. However, I want to play with a couple of desiccations. 2 desiccations, which means I need to replace 2 water towers. Actually, no, sorry, 2 water pendula. Need to go down. Water pendula. And then 2 freezes need to come out. So that is what we're going to play in game 5, which is mono water. And that leaves me mono ether and mono death for the remaining games. I'm not going to play my signature damsel toll in this match. I just don't think it's good enough to justify not playing some of the other ether decks that were available. I think it's a very strong deck, but I think that with the presence of so much fire, death, air, elements that the damsel toll hates, are present too much in this match for me not to go for it. So we're actually going to pull that up just in case we need to count things also while I'm at it. I shouldn't need to count, but just in case I do, I've got that handy. If you're Zawadx, what do you play here? Do you play a Recluse Tall? Do you play a Death Recluse Tall? Do you play Roll Hope? Think you played Roll Hope? Alright. We'll find out what this is pretty quickly. I also didn't think to tech in Purifies. That would have been another option. Whoa. Emo Silence? This is gonna be Emo Silence, I bet. It's an unusual deck choice, but I do kinda understand it. Emo Silence. Okay. Emo Silence it is. It's a strong deck, but I feel like, yeah, there we go, Emo Silence, it is. It is, in fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I get 6. Which really means I only get 5. That's still enough to play Permafrost next turn and try to stay alive there. And then I can just spam Nymphs. Yeah. So Fire Ether, Emo Silence. Interesting choice. Into 82. Yep, there comes the silence that I was talking about. Now that 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 into 65 means I should win in a reasonably small number of turns. 17. There's the Emo Silence. I think we gotta play Permafrost Shield here. And next turn Crawler 17 turns into 23, which makes us not quite 2 turns from winning. But Crawler plus 1 more Nymph would win the game. So yeah, we have we have 2 to lethal if we play Crawler, and if we're not interfered with. If he wants to win this game, he basically has to have a D flag in hand right now or it's all over. That shield slows his damage down way too much. I hope this won't be decided in desync. It looks like we're having yet another desync. There have been way so many desyncs this match. He got there. Oh, water tower. Beautiful. We'll just freeze that to be safe. And that will beat AI. So that might be the match, and I'll be playing in the finals in about a week's time, unless Zawadx was able to pull this out over the AI. The question is whether AI played Permafrost at the same time I played Permafrost, and whether I played that. And there it is, the official confirmation is through. This match is over, and I'll be playing in the finals. Thanks for watching, guys. That was an extremely exciting match. That was mono water used for me, and that would have been fire and ether for Zawadx. So thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you'll be here to watch the finals.